not managed to beat them on this in the last 3 months. It could all change here and now, but I don't know. Order will have had to make some huge changes going into map 2.
We're going to get one or two things. It's either going to be like really, really close, same sort of story. You know, we'll actually potentially get a win from Order, or rather it'll be tight. It might end up that 2-0 as we sort of been thinking about. Or we're going to see the fury, like what we did see come out from LFO in the previous map. They're starting on the T side. They've got the momentum behind them. Mac, mate, take us into Nuke. Hopefully we've got a good one.
Yeah, hope so. You know, what do we got here? Taking stock of everything. LFO going to be starting on the T side. One set of util, maybe two, I guess, with the Molly and the P250 there on Hazard. And then Order, they're just holding some passive lines with 2 sets of util as well. So maybe a couple of nades to get some free damage. Ustillo playing back a credit here. Just looking where to keep his eyes. It is just going to be an A retake setup for the CTs. Vexite hoping to get one, which he will. And it's a solid start. Ustillo looking to lock down outers. But Licky just going for the big old rotate. In come those nades. Huge damage. Hazard lucky to be alive. And it is just going to be a flood onto site from Order.
Okay, there we go. Looking to break their streak of last map, which was 1 round. They've got one already. It was the first round. And that was super clean and super efficient on the way back into the site.
Almost better than what they did last map already. And
My
you gotta
God,
love
wow.
it. You gotta love it.
Well, 4 alive too. So the momentum behind them, already big. Looking forward to seeing if they can, you know, keep this consistency here. I don't know if we're going to see a buyback in. Okay, no, we will. LFO is going to go for that reinvestment. Mac 10s. Those are what can start to get scary, Sterling with just the dig. So, look, at least if Order kind of kick back here and don't allow LFO to find that second round, they should be good for a coupler and at least starting themselves strong on this city side.
So we are going to see an early door smoke. Savage trying to make his way down below, but Ricky nice and early on the line. So be the bloom of that smoke, which, you know, you wouldn't expect him to do. But that being said, LFO, they are just thundering through the halls. Vexite, first point of contact down here. See what he can do with the MP9. Too many players to get past. And the Mac 10's going to reign supreme. Line held, and Hazard hits Dryer with the 2-tap. Just like that, it's back to the 3-on-3.
Easy steezy. Looking to deny it. Full control here as the members now start to wrap their way down towards the ramp. It is going to be a tough one, regardless of the situation. Ricky now looking to make his way into secret as well. So they've still got that kit. They've still got the time. Slowly starting to tick down now. The utility has been burnt over towards Mega here. Only the singular nade as Sterling has taken a whole lot of damage here. Ustillo getting a little bit low, but Hazard does manage to deny Ricky. Now it's both the members coming here through Mega Mac. It's going to be a save. Oh, man.
Yeah.
Already denied. An absolute scrap and brawl in the second round of the map. And LFO immediately responding here on Nuke, which is their map selection.
Crazy days. And not only 2 M4s carried across from LFO into the next, that makes Order's round that much harder going into round number 3. It's an interesting prospect. Now, what I've seen, who was it? I believe it was Gorillas, which is an EU team. They adopted the old Valorant strategy of winning a round and then going for a full eco so they could just stabilize their economy early. So just copping an L. And I have not seen any team do that since. But it was smart, I think. I didn't watch the rest of the game. But it was an interesting idea, you know? Just hit him with
I still had that for the first time in a Valorant pug where it was like, we've won the round and we've won the second round after. And it was like, no, we've got to play bonus. Like, we're saving. It's like, what do you mean? Oh, yeah. We won the round.
Completely the opposite of what a bonus round is in Counter-Strike. Now,
oh, yeah.
A little silly, but it makes sense when you sort of get your head around it. That being said, it's a solid start to the round for Order, managing to get that pick off early. Vexite surviving on 34 HP. Everyone really looking to have a much better game here for Order, which is exactly what they'll need if they want to stay in the upper bracket and buy themselves an afternoon off tomorrow.
So what they're looking for, that extra freedom, not having to fight in that lower bracket. Of course, we do have old Wix and Josh taking us through do believe Vertex versus Paradox right now. And it looks like Vertex has actually walked away with that map win after Paradox almost beats LFO in 2 maps on overpass, mind you, 22-20. And then LFO does what we just saw. Anything's kind of happening tonight.
There's the B defense going to go. Gyra gets some chip damage done. Vexite not spotted initially in the corner, but Licky. Full clearance on the route in. Ustillo speaking around 10. He's back on the back of side.
Oh!
Nades follow through from Val 2, and it's almost the mop up, but it's back to the 2-on-2, and there's 10 seconds to plant. Valiant's just going to be swinging in with a flash of his own. Ricky nading over towards default, and Sterling just stands in the alpha position, highest part of the ground on site, and just taps heads. And he's off to a good start again.
Sharp as anything. Even with the M4, that laser pointer that it is right now. But there we go. LFO have fought back, thrown a couple of punches, and Order have stumbled this time. They'll take that eco, making sure they've got enough. Still holding on to a little bit of extra cash holder. Make sure Rick does get that AWP up, as he has been impactful with it throughout the evening. But we do need to see more. Sterling, great opener.
Sharp shots onto Vexite. APOC not letting go of W. Big outers wrap coming through extremely early indeed. And of course, it is going to be a rough position for Order to be in. 3 men stacked over towards the door, hoping for some form of bust from the T's. It's going to be an expedition from the CTs here. Ustillo spotted. Across the line, Savage looking to hold down the fort, which he will do successfully. And Gyra now, well, looking for any options because he's got nothing. He's got a USP, no armor. Just trying to die to a rifle instead of the MAC-10. I feel like that's the best option. He's thinking that maybe, just maybe, he can thread a couple of shots onto these T's. Big double nade stack. Misses the mark. But those shots don't. Position spotted. You can see how hungry Savage is for the eco frag. Man, it's just wrapping up the ramp, but APOC says, no, this one's mine. Running straight up from AC, keeping things cool. And a third will be secured on the board for LFO.
Nice and easy. Keeping their cool, not losing any weapons. Happy to do it. So, Vexite, just the last one to invest. Having a little bit of a conversation here. How do they approach? But I think it's just going to be something maybe quick again. APOC still holding on to that MAC-10. He's obviously a player that's quite commonly known to get up in the grill of his enemies. And it's actually Savage to go straight down the vents. He has found that position immediately. They actually played a relatively passive route towards Dormac. I might think he actually could have got down there relatively free of audio as well.
Would definitely be the case if that nade blew up nice and close to the CTs. There's that nice little bit of sound coverage, but 3 bullets. Was it 3? 4 shot there. And it's enough to net Ricky. His life gone skis. This MAC-10 should not be allowed to do that, but APOC can make everything.
And Gyra playing a very, very dirty off angle there. He's actually denied a couple and still alive to the side of Savage. Savage has missed a couple of shots. Gyra, how have you gotten away with this, my friend? 1 man left, and that's Sterling. Stellar map in the previous. Does the dink, though. Gyra doing it all on his lonesome here towards that B-bomb site. A little bit unfortunate there for Savage. Couldn't quite connect on the shot, but now Sterling does creep on in towards the glass. They've already got all the positions here locked down. He has collected another Molotov, but as he walks on down, Valiant's straight on that line, and Sterling 10 HP, nothing he can do. Righto, Pete, done and dusted. And a round does go the way of Order. So already seeing a better performance than in the previous map. But then again, I do know that Order have it in them. I'm never, ever going to want to be in a position where I'm sitting down and going, yeah, sure, LFO, they dominated super hard. They're going to do the same this map. No, I've casted too much damn Australian Counter-Strike, AUNZ Counter-Strike, to know that fluctuations are the name of the game.
Well, what are we going to see? Faster approach from LFO, just smacking that accelerator. Smashes it straight into 5th and goes all the way down towards that B site. You still are not going to be able to cut him off at the pass. It's going to be extremely awkward. Molly to doors. two T's coming through. The lineup was there, but Ustillo and they're able to snag away a single. Has a smoke as well, just locked down this double door position. Nate blows him up, and it's going to be the spam through. Vexite may be able to salvage the round here, but it's going to take a whole lot of good shots because Sterling, Apoc both still alive, and Licky barely, just on 22 HP. But it's the save called already, Mitch.
Yep.
Order backing away from Secret.
Yeah, you could already tell Valiant's made that call. Vexite, let me at him. Getting dragged away. Unfortunately, not allowed to dive back into that one after finding the pick onto Hazard. But look, I don't blame them. You know, LFO, they found another entry over towards that B position. Once again, going through the ramp. And look at Sterling. He's hungry, fired up, ready to rock. Trying to hunt them down. He actually might get a catch, but no, hiding towards red. Should be fine. So 3 alive for LFO. Order, keep those 2 weapons in play, but it is going to be another pause. And at this point in time, it looks like it is a technical. So we'll work out what that one is shortly. Surely that will be passed through to us. But this round, not really a whole lot's going to come out of it anyway. On the side of Order, we're going to need to see the 3 members without weapons save to a degree. But what do you do here if you're Automac? You know, you're down a peg from the previous map. You're already kind of being tossed around by LFO on this CT side of Nuke. How do you kind of change the momentum?
Honestly, a good couple of rounds. That's pretty much all you can do. You know, Order, they're one of these teams where they can keep their heads screwed on very easily. They could also... I feel like everyone on that team, they're just max chilling. After, you know, you hear the voice comm videos that have come through recently, especially with the ones from overseas, everyone's just having a good time. And that's when you generally play your best Counter-Strike because you're not taking it too seriously. You can just relax. You don't get too tense. Everything just plays in your favor. And I feel like that's probably the way they get back into the game. Now, I can hear a lot of typing. And Mitch, I know that you definitely weren't watching the ESL Pro League conference stage because I too wouldn't have, because I would have been asleep if I wasn't casting it.
I was working.
We got, honestly, the greatest tech pause ever, right? Do you know what it is?
Go on.
OC was eating whatever he ate and he got hot sauce in his eye.
No way.
So he played like 2 rounds with hot sauce in his eye, and then it got too much, so he had to flush it out. So we had to sit through like a 10-minute tech pause while he treated his eye.
Oh, man. Taking the OC supremacy to a whole nother level there. Jesus. Oh.
It was gold.
Yeah.
Pure gold.
Extra Salt still putting up some good numbers as well. Loving seeing old mate Floppy back in the business. Putting up some really cool things. But it would have been cool. Hey, I reckon because EPL conference, of course, was such an odd mishmash of teams, you know, like kind of that tier 2 from really around the bend, around the world, and so many, I guess, upsets, big results.
Yeah, I think, you know, the main thing that came from that was the Godsent storyline.
Yeah.
Lots of people didn't expect them to make it through. But they did, and then when they did, lots of people said, oh, well, you know, going into IEM Winter, they haven't had a chance to do anything against top 20 teams. But then they did, and they took a whole lot of dubs.
Yeah.
So really just proving their worth in a LAN environment as well. And
It's
some
beautiful.
of those youngsters that Taco are leading the charge with, man, they are absolutely insane. Definite up-and-comers. But look, game's live, and we're back into what is looking like a mixed bag for Order, but LFO, everything necessary, all perched up across the board.
The spam spray from Valiant, making sure nobody gets down the vents, but it will be Savage to creep on out towards the vent. He's got out the door, not heard, not found, and now he is actually going to walk all the way down, so this is a potential free of charge victory for Savage. And they are straight down Secret as well towards outside. Smoke goes down and oh my god, goodbye, Valiance. Vexite now the only one remaining with a rifle, and Gyro's got a little bit of Kevlar to boot, but it's going to be a tough defense here for Order.
Apoc, just the perfect protocols. Here's that pin pulled, and you better believe that he's going to be swinging now.
Oh, no!
Oh, that was a unfortunate situation, to put it lightly. Man had the lineup, dog shut on him, and instantly is swung by 2 more Ts straight out on the site. So second rifle dealt with nicely and an extremely well navigated round from LFO.
A big brain to close the door instead of open it. Say you pull frags. Love to see it. But no, it did indeed bamboozle Vexite. So just Ustillo, hoping to find a potential exit over towards his position. Once again, we do see LFO running around, hunting, seeing what they can find. There we go. Yeah. There might be one for Ustillo.
Find a knife.
Will it happen?
We love knives.
No, he started running.
We love knives. And unfortunately, I said that so we don't get to see a knife.
The caster curse. It's happened many a time.
AK picked it up. It's going to be nice for the economy. Licky falling 2 and a nice little chip away at LFO's economy. So, yeah, things go well or slightly better for Order right at the end of round number 7. Heading into round 8. Order back in the gun game.
Finally, another door opened for these players. Give themselves the opportunity to grab another. But cash is pretty decent in the hands of APOC. Everything else considered, Order at least have done some damage. LFO haven't quite had the chance to sort of take everyone up above 10k, which is what you start to expect around this point. But Order, again, don't ever want to count them out. Wanting to see them really fire back up. Nuke still pretty CT-sided, especially with the weaponry changes as of late. Still continuing true. So 5 rounds for LFO, already a good start. And if they collect more, it's going to start to get real scary for the next few rounds.
Just running back the numbers. 8L smokes for information denial at Outers. And APOC, he's even going to sell it as well. Just smashing his way through. Flash in from Licky. Just looking to gain some form of control here. Order once knowing that he could be in this position. It gets dangerous. Gyra, he's got himself the high ground, ready to fall on contact offline. Usually the T's would be aiming a bit lower. Looking for that headshot. Jump across and Hazard. There's the bomb. On a silver platter, but that's the issue when you're up on the box there, Mitch. You just don't drop as quickly.
And Ricky was looking for APOC as well, but he just got caught off slightly. Unfortunately, swing and done. Ustillo now poised, trying to lock this down for as long as possible. Valiance is going to have a very, very big task, though, here, Mac, as he tries to hold down from the site position. Ustillo going to catch a couple, though, and Valiance does stop Licky. All onto APOC here. 8 seconds, no bloody time. Round's done. And I think APOC might just want to go down. Yes, he will. Okay. Valiance closes it out. 3rd round for Order. They've got 2 to go until they tie this one up, but at least they're sort of pulling their way back slightly. 3 alive, good result. Couple of weapons that go over to the boys.
Yeah, they just need to try to find this consistency before it gets too late, similar to what we saw over on Overpass. When Order did start to look a little good, it was just way too late in the game. The scoreline had been absolutely decimated, and that's not what we're seeing here, not just yet anyway. Able to buy up this round, extremely critical for Order to keep as many guns alive as possible, and that is a terrible way to start.
Yep. The meat grinder, that is Hazard, getting the job done again, this time from Silo. And creeping towards the ramp again. Gyra has been having a, sort of up and down time. He's done well, but the door continues to get swung open towards this position. Megaton taken, but there's that cheeky little APOC lurk. He's got some boys with him this time, however, as he does lead the charge. Spots out for Valiance towards outside. Vexite can't quite line them up, but that's a whole lot of damage. Ustillo now collects the bag that was fumbled. Bombs dropped. Position is known. Ustillo has to get around somewhere else, and he's actually going to drop down the vents for the time being. That could potentially throw a bit of a stone in the works, but we'll have to wait and see as they are poising their way back towards this A site, Mac.
Yeah, they just heard him run out of HUD as well. So, Ustillo, he got the info just too late. You could see that he knew he'd made a mistake. Giving up all that door control. Now he's going to go for a late rotation, ring around the rosy, back through Outers to Annex. And it's going to be 2 solo mission trying to prong back in towards this A-site retake. It's all about the timing. Savage in a common position, but Gyro not going to go for the wallbang. Taking the visiony approach instead. Leaky over towards CT vent, going to be able to be the first one to contact Savage. Holding the line. It's awkward, but it's going to work for one. Ustillo needs to connect here, but again, Savage just hiding. And that's all he needs to do. Time's ticked away. And there you bloody have it. 6 on the board for LFO.
Oh, my God.
Navigating their way back into the A site. Ustillo did so much for Order to try to get them back into the round, but unfortunately, one wrong move down the vent, and then great patience displayed from LFO netted them another round.
You love to see it. Just their composure. Again, though, Mac, you know, the amount of patience and locking each other down in that crossfire, getting to a point where Order are kind of thrown into a little bit of disarray. Gyra gets a great pick back in towards the site, bringing it down to a 2-on-2, but
yeah,
then you don't even get to see poor Ustillo even get through the annex. So incredible stuff as APOC does get up in the grill of Rick. Somehow still alive. A little bit of chaos out towards outside.
Timing. Not quite there for him. LFO look to hold things down. APOC, okay. Given the free haircut. Keyword free, those USPs are nice, but the Deagle could be one better. And it's going to be 2 picks found. AK retrieve from Rick. Savage Hazarin, big old lick, looking to lock down the A site. But Order, what are they going to do here? Looks like they are happy as Larry just to save both weapons. No one even attempting to crack their way in. It's just Gyro with the P250. Maybe looking for a rifle of his own. So 3-7 is going to be the scoreline.
Another good one. Just time and time again, I'm starting to scratch my head a little bit. Just these rounds are getting tight. There's damage dealt. There's sort of movement being made, but LFO just continue to have a different answer. You know, they're throwing these constant curveballs in as I say that. Gyra has had a pretty sharp shot there, but in the end, it just will be Valiance and Vex site taking those rifles into the next. Very important. Rick's dived straight in with the glass cannon AWP again, but of course, hasn't really been able to be put to fruition just yet. But looking across the board, like the frags are surprisingly even, really through and throughout, and just showing that LFO are just having that little bit of extra impact.
Faster approach over towards Trophy. Tazza tries to get on the line, but Gyro ready for it this time. And that's a numbers advantage, but for how long? Vexite, an ambitious spray transfer from the top of silo to below. He gets, you know, he gets confidence from it, but timing favors Valiance this time. Savage had an inkling that he was at CT vent, but he just had too many angles to watch. Solo out the door. And now looking for Org, trying to play from the back foot. Need to find their way back in, and that's not a way to do it. Ricky taking the AWP over towards ramp instead. Slicky gets hit with the old high-low. Ustillo mops things up on the A site. So it was a bit of a one-by-one-y sort of round there. LFO unable to make any trades really work for them. It was just a couple of individual picks coming through. 7 on the board already on the T side is a very, very strong showing right now in this current meta.
The copium in me, Mac, for a good series is saying that with this econ for LFO right now, they have invested. They've got an AK obviously in the hands of Savage still, but not really a whole lot else. And he's just going to wait inside that smoke. It's going to be a very, very fast hit towards the top side. Savage opens up with one, making it a second, looking to make it a third. Oh my word, Savage out of nowhere, decimating and locking out Order from the site immediately. What was that from Vex? All right. Almost the ace, not quite. Goodbye, Vex site. Hello, Savage. 1 on 3.
I have a feeling that was pure homework coming out of Savage there. The fact that he knew exactly where the second man was playing, just swinging straight onto Sally. Absolutely ridiculousness. And he also had the inkling that someone was in Annex, of course, very common position.
Yep.
But the ability to lock onto him through the smoke, absolutely insane. So a very solid couple of entries coming through. And we actually saw Order hit or get hit by that earlier by Addict when Addict got the ace. Pretty much.
Yeah.
Spitting image of a play, except Addict had the Tech 9 that he brought into the ring.
That's it. But no, you're exactly right. Just that's what a lot of hours into Counter-Strike looks like right there. And very nicely done from Savage. You know, we were talking a little bit earlier about like young prodigies and players on the come up, and it is very much a mix of that on both of these teams, right? You know, you've got LFO obviously with Sterling and Hazza being that dynamic duo for quite some time. APOC, who's been around since the dawn of time in this scene, all the way back to the 1.6 lands and still firing to this date. One of the members that's been around the block a few times, bringing up younger talent in Licky and Savage. Savage, I believe one of the younger pros at this point in time. I think only 17. And then we flick over towards the other side, which is of course Vexite, that young prodigy. Valiant still a little bit younger, but then you got the because Gyra's actually younger than I expected as well. But Rick and Ustillo, you know, the old blood that have been around the block a few times, have been on international rosters and bringing up the newer talent with them. So it's a beautiful thing to see. Love to see it flourish because I'm washed now, Mac, and just seeing the young ones come up and frag around is always good to see.
Yeah, there's definitely some sharp up and comers, and it's great to see, you know, the experienced players take them under their wing, teach them what's up, you know, teach them exactly how they need to be playing, not just how to aim and shoot and click good, right?
That's it.
That's what a lot of the up and comers really are good at, and then you just got to add the extra spice to make everything nice.
Mold them.
Now, speaking of spice, we got the L smokes here. LFO able to go for the aggression. Off the back of it, though, Ricky decided it was a good idea to push through Trophy just to try to take some map control back, which is good until Savage is there, and he's tapping everything at the moment. So, main advantage already, and Order just trying to figure out where they need to go.
Oh, look at this.
Upper side is, no good. Savage, he's found another. Not for the third, though. It's a rough position from here for Order to get back into the round.
They've taken full lobby control, of course, off the back of it. Nice reactive play here from Order. Now repositioning towards Mega. It's only going to be Ustillo, though, as Hazard does rip the head off of Gyra. Ustillo felled by Sterling. Poor Valiance. Don't even feel like he's got any time to breathe or think at this point in time. Just has to hightail it down towards that T-spawn. Try to take the gun into the next round. And none of his team's actually going to have any cash to do anything with either. So, again, another position where Order have been licking their wounds and just kind of limping away from each site accordingly. And I think old APOC wants to play as he hunts on in to try and find him. Good off angle here. Valiant should live, but I'm not going to close any doors just yet.
Timing. Oh, it
Goodbye.
couldn't have been worse. What was Val thought there was a flash coming? It's the only reason I could think of for him looking away. That or Vexite's asked, "Hey, what's in that truck? Can you toot the horn for us?" And,
Yeah.
It ultimately cost them a gun coming into round number 14. So, this is now looking terrible if you are an Order fan.
It is indeed. Definitely can feel the Swift man himself feeling the burn.
Yeah. The mold coming through.
Molding Swifty. It is his Discord name. So, another site plant, but then again, only an eco. The huge. Hope for some extra frags. Hope for some good damage. Gyra.
Yeah.
Toyin potentially with that line. Sterling, though, has hunted on in. Continuing his streak of good matches. But I think he was, thinking back now, it was pretty fired in the last series too, prior. So let's have a little bit of a look at that one. Oops. Where are we?
Okay.
LFO. Yeah, so he's 61 and 44 in the previous series up against Paradox, and then of course the decimation he's pulling through here. So that's nuts. I don't know. They've been such a treat to watch this team over the last few months, constantly improving. Definitely putting back a few naysayers as well, I think.
Let's see if they say nay and gallop into an 11th round. I would probably pay to watch APOC neighing. Now, it's a slower approach. Just a bit of lobby control. Holding for order, throwing anything aggressive towards them. Bit of a spam coming through the door. And LFO, it looks like it's just going to be this upper pot with the 1 minute 30 mark. So you still are on a bit of an off angle. It's good. Flash coming through a little late, so you still are able to still find 2 and regain that vision. Now, awkward line for him to take with both the T swinging through, and this may just be the 5th round that Order need to have an extra bit of breathing room in the second half. But Sterling, this man is alive and kicking and maybe even tapping. We'll see in a moment.
That's when you start to do the old... You hear the story of Sterling when he got the 1v3 to win the major? I'll have to find out in just a minute, but he's got plenty of time here to work with. As you mentioned, Order desperately need this 5th round. It starts to make it a position where we think, okay, they can come back from this. They can make something work. I'm still down, dropped on that site. Gyra basically stomping on it. As they now creep out onto the line, but Ricky's holding it. And Mac, I think that is going to be a nice and cruisy half. Nicely done from LFO. Order strike back a little bit, but we'll have to find out to see if they can close it in the next map after this break.
Pick up 6 rounds here, and well, they're just going to be picking up the pace. Order straight into the vent, straight down to the B site, and uncontested too, as it was that upper stack coming from LFO.
Oh, very nice shot from Hazard though, and they've almost completely ignored this Vexite position. A couple of members looking like they wanted to head down towards Secret, but I think Vexite's actually had to sort of pull off there. They're hunting down, looking towards this warehouse position first, but now with that bomb going down, they know. It's B. Vexite going to be heading back towards the ramp position, but there's a long dosey though before he actually gets there. So whilst his position was powerful, it's almost been no real use at this point in time as they start to march in towards this 4v4 Mac here. Ricky is waiting poised at the top of Mega. Very nice shot there. It's the second, not quite the third though, as Savage will be able to get that trade back now. A 3 versus 2, and a Vexite can start to pick up the pace a little bit, but it looks like it will be in the end, not the round. They've done it here, and that is going to be Order back in business. 6-10 with a run on the board.
Solid way to start the half. Awkward for Savage, and he's not going to be able to get the kill either. Just watching Vexite's ragdoll blow away with the explosion. Oh, you love to see a little bit of action like that. And, well, a 4-round lead now for LFO. So they're going to be buying up into the second, following suit as per usual here on that CT side 2nd round. Order, what have they got for us? 3 SMGs, 2 rifles, whole bunch of util to play with as well. And it looks like it could just be the early outer smokes. And Order thinking about maybe sending it down lowers.
Obviously won the last 2nd round force, so let's see if Order can keep their composure against LFO. Lots of footsteps around, information sort of starting to be gathered. They dunked into those L smokes, but nothing utilized. It's Gyra, who's already taken point down towards lowers now. He is spotted from the vents, but he can continue charging for now, just kind of keeping a little bit of attention towards him as the rest of the members sit towards lobby. It does look like it's going to be that A-site split, Mac. How are they going to find it as Savage does dissipate that molly?
Gets away to safety for a moment and finds himself the lineup. The tease, the spacing was way too good, so they line up for the picking. And now it's all up to Gyra, who's got a, well, bold nade. Gonna finish off the job though, and boom. Headshot coming through from Sterling there with the deagle. It's a big one to find, and LFO on the pistols now just starting to dominate the half because their economy is looking pretty good going into this round. Order, they're probably opting to buy again. It is what we're going to see. Looks like it's a Hero AK in the hands of Ricky, and then a couple of guns all just sort of juggled across. So let's see what the Deagles can do in the hands of the T's, but I am not expecting too much.
Oh, I was just letting the bullet fire kind of do the talking for a little bit there, as a little bit of a tag up, but APOC actually gets the worst end of the stick there, as he is taken rather low. Now they're just watching over towards this vent position. Another smoke to go in, but I think they're actually going to have a little bit of trouble here as Ricky flies on out with that Hero AK. But Savage, he has been having a stellar, absolutely incredible game back, and this round is no different. 3 more for Savage. He has been the absolute pillar on this A site in these last couple of rounds, winning it all true for LFO. 12-6 as they've completely shot back, and Savage is just, oh man, 19-12. He was only a little bit behind old mate Sterling in the previous. This time he steps over and above, but the multi-frags with the level of impact that he's had has just been immaculate.
Just not missing much. Aim crisp as anything. Kind of like what we saw from Vexite over in that first series. But doing one better. Really just smashing through the ranks of Order. Not quite working out in terms of bodies being thrown. And Order looking like the bodies may be hitting the floor again, or even hitting the door. So we are going to see that squeaky smoke refreshed for now. Licky. You know he wants to go for a spam. He's got the weapon to do it as well. Waiting for a bust. And another one coming through. That'll separate the troops. But the bomb, it's made it down towards B. And Vexite, he is hungry. He wants to make the cross happen. Hazza playing spoiler. And pretty much securing the round right there and then.
I was going to say that was about to be a dub, but it was not. Hazza waiting, ready. Had the audio cue, and he can just quickly nip on down. Hazza, the ramp player, always puts up big numbers from that position. Very, very nicely done, but obviously just again, the eco. Close the door on the round, move on to the next Order. They've, had to dig deep into their pockets, unfortunately. Alliance having to move down to just a little to get the full arsenal of utility. Whereas LFO only, within 3 rounds now of closing this entire series, Matt, giving them that freedom into the top of the bracket. But look at, are you joking me, Hazza? Straight through. What is this? Okay.
Aggression.
It is aggression, but you still are completely blinded, manages to get the strike back, and then, okay, I might just really wrap up the Caster Curse this there.
Nah, look, you're right. Licky's right. Savage is right. Look who's alive. And look who's not checking corners.
Oh, true, yeah.
Silly little buggers. Very focused on Mega, thinking that there's no time for the rotation. It's a third. And Licky could have single-handedly saved the round because Savage, in a 1-on-2, he's been very solid. 1 kill around so far. And, the timing is definitely going to be in question. But he's found at least one. And Ricky, who's so damn close.
He wants it too. Look at him. Absolutely hunting, fishing for it, but it won't happen. It won't happen. But I got to admit, Mac, that round was, 1 out of pretty much nothing. There was no business that LFO had getting back into that one, but Licky, not checked. And then Savage bringing it back down into the 1-on-1. Ricky must have been sweating.
Three steps away from victory for LFO. And this is a good round to close out things. Or at least set themselves up in the right direction with all of this utility. All of these A1Ss in play. And a little bit of aggression into Hut to follow suit. So we'll see if Savage can make something happen. There's a whole lot of T's just lurking around the corner. Sterling, he's going to strike it out as... But this push not happening. Oh, they're up on T-roof. Okay. Map getting me. Real damn good.
But look at APOC.
There's 2 on T-roof, you're expecting this uppers bust And with APOC able to make the fast flank happen, the T's could get caught off guard, but Vexite able to fight for 2. And Savage, he stopped the cross there. Big trades coming through. And Ustillo, oh, he's looked up top, but Hazza, I don't even think it was the silent drop. It was just all about that timing. Hits the ground in time. Repositioning, definitely a key little mechanic that you can use in this game. And off the back of that, it's a 14th. LFO, now just 2 steps away from the dub.
It's just like APOC pushing so confidently towards outside completely changes the pace of the round for LFO. They don't have to have any sort of thoughts towards that position. APOC's got all the info. The lean can be back down towards that A site, and how quickly it looks like it's a potential position for Order to take it. They've just got nothing at all. The rotation's already there. Everyone is in position to deny, and we are seeing a couple of shots come in as Valiant does spell Savage. It is a round that shouldn't be sort of won out here with no Kevlar to sort of work with. Hazza spots out one more. Very nice shot from Sterling. Ustillo goes for the swing. Picks up another, but there's a... Ooh, hang on. It's a one-on-one. Where's the bomb, though? Just below heaven. Can Valiant get the shot onto Sterling? No, we cannot. 2 for Big Sterling. And that's map, series, and evening point, Mac.
Yeah. Could be closing things out early. Could be sending us into Tamoza, which of course is going to be the final 2 games here of the qualifier. And we of course will see who is going to take that slot over towards Anaheim, which will be Pog as
mate
for everyone.
Beautiful. We're talking about it. When's the last time some Aussie teams have been over in NA? Can't wait to see it. It's going to be amazing. Another event at Anaheim. There's been so much there over the years, but Licky's bought a P90, so I think we will be wrapping up the series in just a couple of minutes.
Yeah. Even if it's not this round, the tilt factor may just set in. So we'll see if that happens. Sterling locked in on 13 HP. No nades to force him out. Maybe a few mollies, but it's going to be Gyra on a solo mission as there's pressure put towards ramp as well.
He's doing it again.
APOC just loves just catching his timings. Gyra. Oh, man. Going to be kicking themselves for not expecting that. Ricky, you can see that he wants the trade. But again, LFO, they're so good at showing themselves, then just completely disappearing into thin air. You've got APOC, who was looking to go down the lowest, jumping his way down secret. But the upper side, this is awkward for Savage now, just with the Famous, and he will survive. So trying to play his life. 2 more tags through the bloody wall for 2 HP each. He is so unlucky. He almost shoots his teammate. Licky doubles it up there, Mitch. And APOC, he's looking to close out things here. Right on the A site. Backing himself and holding this line. Ricky, he of course got the trade. His position was known.
Okay.
30 seconds. The wrap could work here, Mitch.
This could, yeah. He's not looking this way at all. Wonder what he's sort of thinking. Rick has chosen the heaven route. Straight up the ladder. Where will he check? Which way? You're joking. There is no way. APOC's going to win it. No!
Oh!
How's he done that? The big brain?
Well, I'll tell you. Your
Yeah.
caster cursed it.
I did. I've done it
absolutely on it
multiple
tonight.
times tonight, yeah.
Yeah.
It was like, I still remember back in the day where when Greyhound was winning, I was banned from tweeting because they started to lose. I miss those days.
I do remember those days.
Yeah.
Everyone remembers those days.
Yeah. I got
Everyone
quick
would reply.
I got
saying,
quick
"Shut up."
thumbs, Mac, yeah.
Yeah.
All right, so we got another round. That's good news. It's a reset
Yeah.
economy for LFO. They've gone for the full force too, so they're trying to close it. Order want to keep going. And I think we both want this series to keep going.
Yeah, I do love a good bit of AUCS, especially between these 2 teams. And Order, they have to take us to OT. So if Order have a chance here, they literally have to take us to more than 30 rounds of regulation. And that's what, 7 steps away from here. So let's see what they can do up against the Pistols of LFO. And in 7 rounds as well, that's plenty of time to work up the round loss bonus for LFO just to keep on that financial pressure. So the metagame very important, but also it is Nuke, and Pistols being bought every round can definitely have some kind of heavy influence. MP9 on this line. Oh, looking pretty good, but Savage, I think he spotted that drop. He's still low. Oh, going to be caught in transition.
That is scary, scary things to see from Savage. Lining him up. Will be Sterling gets one. Hazza still alive. Still alive. Oh my God. Hey, there is no way the game ends this way. Hazza has just pulled out something from nothing, and Savage is there on the flank to close it. Mac, these maps, they always end in chaos. They always end in carnage. And this map is absolutely no different. And that's going to be LFO being your day one champions, I guess, who are going to be moving themselves straight through to that final. They've booked them a spot in EPL.